Mute's down, the go live is gone. And that means there it is. We actually are now flying up through space, coming down through a satellite somewhere. And we are now here in the studio. And check this out, everybody. I'm not here by myself today. I'm here with Hero and Martin, and they brought their friend Hal with them to the studio today. So you might be like, well, what is HAL? What is this? HAL stands for Hybrid Assisted Limb. So remember, when we're talking about our bodies, these are our limbs, our arms and our legs. Those are our limbs that extend from our core. And we're going to show you and talk to you today about how HAL and these guys at Rise, they can actually help you achieve some mobility goals, some movement, some neurological connections. It's really exciting stuff. And I'll tell you all what, we've already been talking about it, and he's not on here because he's on his way to Lebanon, but we're going to get Nick in the Exo-Skeleton when he gets back from Lebanon. And these guys think, I think it too, we're going to get Nick to get that one-legged balance really locked in solid. So everybody, again, it's going to be a different kind of workout today. We might have some time for some leadership. If we get kind of done what we want to do here, we might have a chance to bring on maybe a leader or two and show these guys what you can do. But let's go ahead and get things kicked off with, remember, having a sip of water. That's going to be most important during these hot days. It's super hot. Even if you don't feel hot, just drink the water to stay ahead of it. It's a good idea to stay hydrated. So let's go ahead, have a sip of water. If you got your water, you're going to see me today with my little GoPro camera too. We're going to get some footage with the GoPro camera. And what do you think, guys, about the breathing motto? Ben, you think have these guys do the breathing motto?
Yes.
I like it. I like it a lot. So we actually have, everybody, let me show you. We got our breathing motto shirt. We got breathing motto shirt, and we're going to put it, we'll put it right here. We won't erase any of that. There we go. And so I think it'll be fun because these guys have no idea. They just got here 30 minutes ago. They've been setting up how.
Hey, John, Ben's not co-host.
Oh, all right. Let's get Ben co-hosting. That's number one priority. We got to make sure we have all the pilots in the cockpit before the plane takes off. There we go. But I did get Karen and I got you, right, Carrie?
Yes.
All right, good. All right. So we got 3 pilots flying our airplane. You're going to tell that I'm not having to do anything. Thanks to Ben and Carrie and Karen. They're going to run the show. If you have a question for both of you guys are physical therapists? You're a physical therapist and you're a technician, kind of, yeah. Nice. Engineer? Yeah. Nice. Awesome. So if you have any questions for an engineer, or if you have any questions for a physical therapist and they come up in your mind during this workout, you can put them in the chat room. And for our co-hosts, let's make sure if there's any questions about physical therapy, maybe on how to make ourselves stronger or more stable, or maybe a question about how to connect our mind and our body, let us know and we'll try to ask these guys. We'll put them on the spot. But here we go. We're going to do the breathing motto. We're going to let them go. Let's let them do 1s and 2s. So Martin, you're going to have the top line. Hero, you're going to have the bottom line, and I'm going to give you a countdown. And I'm just going to be kind of standing out here with the microphone. So you guys ready? All right, don't be nervous. Here we go. And go loud in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Breathe in the good. Breathe out the bad. Breathe in the happy. Breathe out the sad. Breathe in the best. Breathe out the worst. Breathe in your power, so you reach your goals first.
Oh, nice. Look at this, everybody. We got them to do the breathing motto. How great was that? And again, you might have goals that are including things like mobility, things like balance and stabilization. You know, when you think about things like stabilization, some people might think about, you know, like have fallen over something, but you stabilize your body at every single joint. That's what all our joints and muscles are for, to kind of help us stabilize. And if you have strong stability, you can then start to build strength and power and all types of things. But again, we're going to learn a little bit more about how that works. We're also going to do a little bit of our warm up and to kind of get everybody moving. So if you need to have a sip of water, let's have a quick sip of water. Then I think we're going to do about a 5-minute warm up. Then we're going to talk to these guys a little bit about the technology. And then I think you're hooked up, right? And then we're actually going to get to have a demonstration of how this works. Now, something to mention, this is very special for anybody who's in the San Diego area or Orange County. So Southern California, maybe even if you're visiting, you know, from like Tahoe or San Francisco, and you're saying, I'm going to go on a vacation. Well, when you're down here, you might be thinking, I want to try this out. I'd like to have a session with these guys, and I want to see if maybe like Nick, if this thing could maybe help me out and feel some of the things that I've been looking for, because we want our body to really get a feeling of what we're trying to do, and H.A.L and these guys, they can help us to do that. So if you're in the Southern California area and you want to try this out, let us know. Or if you're at a program, let your program know, let your parents know, and let's make sure that you get that opportunity. These guys are going to be doing a complimentary session with this. So it's not going to cost you anything. You're just going to get to go and discover on your own what this is going to feel like. So again, really, really cool stuff. But let's go ahead. Let's get into a little bit of a warm up. These guys are going to get warmed up with me here. H.A.L doesn't have a head or a neck. So I don't think H.A.L's going to have to worry about moving its head or neck. But what I think we should do to get our head and neck warmed up, and these guys, they're going to participate by default because they're just standing here. Let's go ahead with our head and neck and spell out H.A.L. Let's spell out H-A.L. And that's going to get, remember, our head on top of our shoulders. We're going to get it moving around. So let's all imagine we're maybe looking at Mount Rushmore, and instead of all the presidents, we're looking at the letters H.A.L. And we're going to go. So let's bring our head up, find the top of the H, and then bring it down all the way to the ground. Now go back up to about the middle, and you got to go across. Now we're going back up, maybe for the side of the H, and bringing it back down. And that's our H. Now let's start with the letter A, maybe from down here. So the letter A, pretty easy. Let's go up. We're just making kind of like a triangle there, going up. Now let's go up to the middle and across. All right, now let's go all the way up with the L. So you got to maybe start up at the top, bring your head down, and bring it all the way across. Oh my gosh, that's just too easy to do. Let's do something that has maybe some squiggly letters. I'm trying to think of something that would have some squiggly letters. And you know, this right here stands for Rise Healthcare Group. Let's try to spell out the word. Let's make the letter P and then drop down that R down to now. So we're looking down on that shoulder. The letter I is pretty simple. Let's just kind of nod our head up and down, nodding our head. There we go. Can make a few eyes. Now for one of my favorites, the letter S. You can start up or down. It's up to you. And you're just going to go around, down to the middle, around, and down across the bottom. And now the letter E. Let's start that off maybe on one of the bottom legs. So we're going across, up halfway, across, back, up, and across. Nice. So we got to spell out Rise. We got to spell out H.A.L. And that's why we're here today. That's what we're doing in the studio. These guys are from Rise Healthcare Group, and they are like the guys to go to. They're like the exclusive guys if you want to experience H.A.L. Now I'm going to ask a question to the group here. And if you know, and if you're on YouTube, you can throw it in the comments and we'll see when you got it right. If you got it right. What does H.A.L stand for again? Can anybody remember? Does anybody remember? We said it right at the very beginning. But if you remember, I want you to try to put that in the chat room. See if you can let us know again what H.A.L stands for. Now, remember, if you don't know, what would you maybe do? You might shrug your shoulders, right? And that's our trapezius lift. So let's pretend that we don't know what H.A.L stands for. We're like, I don't know. And now we're lifting our arms without really moving our arms, right? You're moving your trapezius. The muscles in your upper back are going to grab onto your arms and they're going to lift with the shoulder blades lifting and our entire shoulder. Let's go ahead and let's do a lift. Let's hold it up for a few seconds. And then again, now H.A.L doesn't have any arms, so he wouldn't be able to do this next one. But I want us to do the armpit squeeze. And let's do it for H.A.L. He doesn't have the arms to do it with. So let's go ahead and bring our arms down and then squeeze our arms against our side. Really squeeze, squeeze, 3, 2, 1. And then let's do a little free movement. And feel how free that movement feels after doing the lift, after doing a squeeze, and then just kind of letting those shoulders just kind of move around and play around there. Nice job, everybody. Let's go ahead and have a water break. It's hot in here. It's probably hot where you are. We've met H.A.L a little bit. We got our neck warmed up. We're kind of getting our shoulders going. We're going to do one more exercise, and then we're going to learn a little bit more about H.A.L and about how you could use H.A.L to kind of reach those goals. Remember, we're trying to reach those goals first. You guys got your waters handy? We're gonna be sweating in here by the end of the day. 3 people in the studio makes for a hot workout. I'm teaching a kid how to swim after this, so I'm pretty happy about that. All right, everybody. So let's go. We're gonna move our breathing motto shirt here, and I'm thinking of something that could be kind of good for our whole body, and something that might kind of start to get our core going. And these guys might have some fun with it too. We're gonna jump down to a combo exercise. We'll do it with one hand and with 2 hands. But let's go ahead and do the witch's pot. Let's see how these guys do on the witch's pot. Everybody at home, if you want to stand up and do it, remember, you're going to kind of stick out your butt, bend your knees, reach out like we're stirring the great big cauldron. And so we go down and out, up and in, down and out, up and in. Let's go ahead and go. We're doing 2 hands. Let's go 2 hands on the witch's pot. And then we'll do 5 on the right and then 5 on the left. Let's do about 3 more of these. Reaching out with our arms, extending at the shoulders, but also reaching back with our hips. If you're sitting down, I want you to lean forward and press your hips back into your seat. Let's go one-handed now. So reach out and stir it up. It's going to be a totally different movement. You feel that? You feel how different that is? Again, now we're working on predominantly, we got that one side of our body, but the other side is stabilizing. It's kind of there to help us out. Let's do one more and then we'll switch over to the other side. Nice job. These guys didn't know they're getting a workout in today too. I love it. Like I told you, it's an infotainment. This is, yeah, absolutely. Keep it stirring up, everybody. Keep it going. We got 2 more. Reaching down and out, up and in. 1 more, down and out, up and in. All right. We're going to come back to a couple other warm-up exercises in just a few minutes. But what I'm going to do right now is, who wants to talk first? Talk first. So I'm going to stand over here by Martin. So we got the microphone close by. He's going to explain to us some more about H.A.L. And remember, this is something that we're not just showing you to say, ooh, look how cool it is. We're inviting you to come and join this. You might not even live in Southern California, but this is where a lot of people come for vacation. And wouldn't a great, afternoon of your vacation, how great would it be if you could come meet these guys, try this out, and you get a whole new idea of perspective for when you go back home, new things you want to train for, new ideas and techniques that you have. Again, maybe you could make it a monthly thing. Come out to California. That sounds good for everybody else where it's real hot. So I'm going to stand over here. We'll move this camera right about there. Yep, mic's right here, and I'm going to kind of turn it. Yeah, just a little bit. That's, yeah, pretty good like that. All right, go ahead.
Hey guys, so my name's Martin. Thanks for the introduction. Thanks for having me.
John, we can't hear him.
Okay, well,
If you come up to the,
should we switch it over to this?
maybe.
Yeah, try it.
Want to try that? Let's do that experiment.
Yeah.
Let's try that out. So Mark, come a little closer, and here, bring it up just a little bit closer. So everybody, if you're watching right now, remember, we've been having our audio difficulties, but we now have a new kind of microphone. I'm going to take maybe 1 step back. I'm going to bring this back too. Nice. Everybody, this is what teamwork is all about. Thanks to our co-hosts, again, helping us out. And again, look, oh, wow, we got a great spot there. So I'm going to switch over to our other microphone here, maybe even take like just a small step up, even 1 more. Yeah, right in there. And then now you're talking into that. And oh, I unplugged it. I'm like, and where is it? All right, everybody, just a moment. All right, here we go, everybody. We're getting set up in here, making it look good. We got the guys right here. Let's go with that. Right there. All right. J11. Test 1, 2, 3. How's that sound, Ben?
Sounds good.
All right, let's talk right up into that mic. You got it.
Awesome. Hi, guys. My name is Martin. John, thanks for having us here today. I want to introduce myself and where we're coming from. We're from Rise Healthcare Group. I'm a physical therapist, and I've been a physical therapist for the last 7 years. I've been with Rise Physical Therapy here in San Diego. We have 18 locations across the city, but we're also in the Orange County area as well as the Los Angeles area. So if you guys are around and you guys are interested in coming in for some rehab, some physical therapy, please come on in and say hi. We've been working with H.A.L here for the last 2 years. H.A.L stands for Hybrid Assistive Limb. This device, as well as many other devices, are located in 2 of our San Diego locations, as well as our Los Angeles and Orange County locations. So I'm going to hand it over to Hero, who's our pretty much everything H.A.L related. He's used this device in for a while now, for quite some time, and he'll be able to dive into it a little bit more.
Yeah, thank you, Martin. My name is Hiro. I worked for the company that developed this device in Japan, and I've helped bring this over to the US, and now I'm working with Martin here, as well as the whole Rise Healthcare Group team, to make sure that everyone in the US has access to this type of device. It's pretty new, yeah, we want to make sure that everyone has access to it. So the way this device works is a little complicated, but I'll go through it in a little bit, okay? So when you try to actually make a movement with your body, like let's say my arm is making this movement, my brain is sending a signal, an electrical signal down the spinal cord, all the way through your nerves into your muscles to make this kind of movement, okay? Same with your legs. And what this device does is, through electrodes that are attached to my legs or my arms, I can connect to this device and control this device. And this device will basically pick up those signals, figure out what you're trying to do with your movement, and recreate that with this with the motors in its legs. So for example, if you are actually, I could probably go into the demonstration. Yeah, so
Let's check this out, everybody. So he's going to do a demonstration. So like you heard Hero say, there's electrodes that they're just attached to your legs. And we've probably experienced that before. Maybe if we had like an EKG or something, they kind of just stick on your body. But what that's going to do is pick up the signals in your brain. Now, who remembers when we do our workouts, how we talk about our mind and body making a connection? Well, that's not just like something we talk about. It's a real thing. Your mind is the computer for your muscles. Your muscles won't move without the mind instructing them to do that. So when we talk about using your mind to control your movement, it's some serious stuff. Now, these guys are able to work with your mind and to help your muscles to do things that they might not be able to do on their own because of maybe an injury or maybe a disease that then affects our neuromuscular communication. A lot of those types of conditions are things that can be improved upon, but you got to have a starting point and you got to have somewhere to go. And I think H.A.L provides that. And how does this work here?
Cool. So Hero mentioned he has electrodes on his body right now. So he has these electrodes here, if you can take a closer look, on his hip flexors, knee extensors, hip extensors, as well as knee flexors. And so he's hooked up to the machine, and I'll let Hero go into it.
Yeah, you angle it a little bit lower so you can kind of see the device's movement as well as my leg. So right now I'm hooked up to this device and I'm going to get it to go activate. So now when I move my leg, the robot moves with me. It's a little hard to see with my leg. You go back and start one step. Sure.
Yeah.
All right, so check this out, everybody, so you can see. Look at this here. Oh my gosh. Look at that. So, we've been working on these workouts here to where we've been doing a lot of foot accuracy and things like that. And if you're not able to lift that foot up and extend, that could be very difficult. So you're seeing that. How much effort do you think you're giving with that lift? Are you trying to like lift the world, or are you just?
No, I'm doing this motion very casually, I would say. I'm just lifting my leg up. bending, 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 extending, right? And I can hold it here if I want to, I can hold it up here if I want to. It's all linked to what I'm intending to do with my body through the nerve signals that my brain is sending out. And
Now,
let's, yeah, go ahead.
Can Hal play soccer?
We try.
What do you all think? Do you all think that we could maybe use some teamwork here? And if we could maybe get some coordination, you think we could get Hal to maybe kick this ball? I think let's go ahead and let's try this out. And so let's first start. I'm just going to hold the ball right here and let's see what happens. Oh, he got contact. Here we go again. Oh, here we go. Oh, we got to hold this in place. There we go. All right, we're getting it together. Here we go. Oh, there we go. And now let's try this. So go ahead and do it again. Now let's go for the way me and Bernie do it. Oh, we got a kick. We're getting the timing down. He's swinging his foot. Oh, there we go. Look at this. Everybody, again, we're getting our timing in. Oh, we almost did a little balance on there. So pretty fun. So what was neat about that, everybody, and I like it, these guys are probably going to be like, that's pretty cool, is if you were using this device and you were doing that exercise, not only are we focusing on the muscles, but we're giving them now a task. We're giving your mind a little bit of a higher level of focus to think about. And then now if we just go back to just practicing on the movement, we might find that our brain has maybe an even easier time with this. And from what I hear, guys, if you're getting good, then you guys can dial it down so that you end up doing the appropriate amount of work, because you don't want it to be so easy that you don't get better. And that's what I think is pretty neat about this here too. I'm like, what is it?
Yeah, and just to add to that, for example, this is a very sensitive device and it can pick up very, very faint signals. So if you have any kind of movement issues that prevent your muscles from making big movements, all right, it can still pick up those very faint signals that you're still producing and move accordingly. So right now I'm going to do the same movement that I just did, but this time I'm going to really just think about moving. All right, I'm not going to actually move my leg. I'm just going to think about it.
Oh my gosh.
So I'm going to lift my leg up.
This is with thoughts.
Extend it, bend it, extend it.
Wow.
Coming from his brain.
All from my brain.
All from the brain.
I have a question for you.
Go ahead.
So let's say if a person that's in a wheelchair has like spasticity, I have what's called cerebral palsy. Will the device help mitigate some of that spasticity that's in our muscles? Because those of us that have cerebral palsy have a lot of spasticity issues.
Yes.
Now, will that mitigate some of that?
It's an excellent question. So this device reacts very sensitively to all the signals that are coming through your body, and that includes the spasticity that you have, right? So you would expect this to kind of be a little bit rigid if you have that spasticity happening. What we're able to do with this device is actually ignore some of the bad signals that your body is creating and really focus on just the good ones, right? And it really depends on how we use the controller to set up the device. But we can get the device to move and ignore part of the spasticity and move with the good signals. And what we're also able to do is gradually work on exercises that can, start to tone down some of that spastic response. Like I said, if you want to make the kind of movement where you're picking your leg up and then putting it on top of a platform or something like that, like this, and then putting it on a platform, you might have some spastic response to that. And so what we'll do is we'll ignore some of that bad signals. Gradually, we'll make it more difficult for you to accomplish the task with this device, because we're going to ignore less and less of that signal. So it'll make sure that you're creating good signals only. And that
In other words, it'll help relax it a little bit instead of having that nervous.
It'll help your body kind of learn how to create a signal without producing a spastic response.
So it'll relax it instead of having to be tense. Okay.
Great question, Ben. And you all could see I was playing around with that different camera there for a minute, just seeing how that would go if we wanted to do close-ups. Ben, that's an excellent question. And that was something that we had just talked about before we started our workout today. was about how the sensitivity of this thing is so great and so detailed that it can work with that and actually help to get the body to feel what good movement feels like. And that's something that for the brain, it's searching for that. And so this can provide that feeling. But again, Ben, I think this would be something that would be terrific. If you would want to try it out, Ben, I could even maybe join you there and we could meet with these guys. And remember, everybody, if you have friends who maybe they couldn't make this workout, remind them to watch the YouTube video and they can see the whole workout and they can learn. So that way, if they're interested too, they're going to get a chance to get involved. If there's any other questions, don't be afraid to ask. You can put them in the chat room. And
Yeah,
can you lift? Does the knee lift up?
I can lift it up with the hip.
Yeah, okay. So all the way through. So if you can imagine your leg would be here and it looks like this is kind of like a belt. And it kind of goes around. It looks like right there, maybe above your leg where your quadriceps and around the back of your hamstring. And then down here, you have another little belt that kind of goes across. Remember, what do we have? We got our ant tib. We got that calf kind of structure back there. So it's going to hold the leg up here, kind of top and bottom. And then as it goes up, now what size shoes are those?
We have variable size shoes and we can replace them. So we can quickly change them out. So we'll fit whatever size shoe you have. And the size of this device as well, we have several sizes and they're adjustable as well. So I can make this to fit the body size that you need.
Hey, John, I think Karen had a question.
What's your question, Karen? You can type it in or you can ask it.
Yes, I have cerebral palsy. I use a walker. Will this device help me to walk without a walker?
Sure. So will this help you kind of walk without the walker? The amount of recovery that you make depends on, the patient and how much work they can get in the device. We've seen a lot of patients reduce the amount of assisted devices that they need when they walk. So for example, we've had spinal cord injury patients who started off as a walker, move up to just a Lofstrom cane type of deal. And so, yes, absolutely. We could definitely see some improvements in the devices that you need to help you get around, and possibly even, not needing that at all.
Yeah, to piggyback off of what Hiro mentioned. So you guys have only just seen one limb move. So when we get this on our patients, we have this entire H.A.L device on both limbs. So you get fitted for it, just like we mentioned earlier. There's shoe sizes and the right device size. And then once you get fitted, we get you on a treadmill and a body weight support system, so you're safe at all times. And what we do is we work on different exercises such as gait training, balance training, stability training. And from doing that, we start off with pre-testing. So we do an outcome measures test just to see what your baseline is. And then we get you in the device, we do your physical therapy with the device, and then we test it after, right? And so over a course of time, we can see how much progress you make, right? And we can make adjustments and modify as needed. And that's how a treatment session would look like. They're about an hour and a half long to 2 hours, right? That's longer than a traditional physical therapy treatment session. And so you're in the clinic 1 to 3 times a week, right? And you can imagine how much progress you can make over the time that you're with us.
And don't forget, everybody, this isn't all that there is to this. So Martin might have forgot behind him there too, or he was just waiting. But Karen, and this I think would maybe be specific for her purposes too. Karen, a lot of the times when we're using a walker or a cane, it's not just providing that support for our legs, it's providing a lot of core support. Now, we know from all of the planks and all the core squeezes and all the work that a lot of those muscles, their whole job is to protect that spine and to create a foundation so that the limbs can kind of move and do their things. So what I believe this does is this is actually something that is going to support I might have it on backwards too.
Yeah,
So,
a little high.
I might have, okay, but this is something that I believe is gonna support our core. Now, you can tell I've never done this before. I wasn't even sure if I put it on the right way, but
Yeah,
I like having fun and I wanted to try it on.
yeah, so this is our lumbar device. It's just like the how it works the same way. We get the electrodes on your body. And if you're not ready for the double limb how, we can get you in the lumbar, right, unit. And what we can work on is activities such as sit stands, or we can do things in a seated position, getting your core engaged, getting your lumbar extensors engaged so that, you know, you can have better posture when you sit and you stand, or you can even, you know, get out of a chair a lot easier over time. So this is a nice entryway device to use before getting into this device here.
Yes,
Cyberdyne.
yes.
Who's Cyberdyne?
That's the headquarters of the company that makes this device.
And where are those guys?
They're in Japan.
In Japan, everybody, this came from Japan. Can you have ever imagined on our workout today that we would be getting to check out this super cool, I call it an exoskeleton, but I think it's called H.A.L, right? Is that the name in the industry?
Correct.
Nice. So if you went to Rise, you would say, I want an experience with H.A.L. Instead of the exoskeleton. That kind of sounds kind of maybe like Halloween, but this has nothing. This isn't a trick or treat at all. This is just a real treat.
John, the cool thing too is we're the only ones in the US using this particular device, right? It's being used in 17 other countries, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, 17 other countries, and we're the first ones in the US. And you know, right now we're in Southern California, but we're hoping to put this all across the country one day so that we can better help patients that can benefit from this.
Oh my gosh, everybody, this has been super cool learning experience.
Add
Yeah.
one thing.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah, maybe Martin can show that. So this is kind of what we're looking at in terms of signals when we're working on this type of device. So when I move my leg, you can see some of the signals moving. Right there, those are showing all the
there
different
we
muscle
go.
activity and nerve activity that I'm producing, right?
So everybody, that's actually showing us, information from your brain that's being sent to the muscle, and then that electrode is helping to communicate this information. So everybody, this is kind of neat, and this can give you a cool training tool to, again, kind of see how your brain is improving as you're using H.A.L. What would we see? Would we see, how would we know it's difficult?
Yeah, so right now I'm producing very normal, like right there, you can see on the top left, right there, yeah, that's my hip flexor firing, the yellow signal right there. And if I pull it back, you'll see it go blue, right? And you
Okay,
can see when I go blue, the yellow is very calm, right? And vice versa. If I go yellow, the blue is very calm, right? And a lot of patients aren't able to make that very clear distinction between the yellow and the blue. Sometimes they'll create both signals. Sometimes those signals will come a little bit later than what we want to. So we can work and we can see that within this graph, and we can kind of cue you in exercises to get a better, clearer signal. And that's exactly what we're working on. We want that nerve signal that you're producing to be very clean and timing is right in terms of your gait. So that's
I have an idea. I'm putting these guys on this spot here too. Now, what if I provided resistance?
you can do
By
that,
say
yeah.
maybe a band. So everybody remember, we've seen these before, where we maybe have like a stretchy band or something like that. And you know, we use these all the time. These are like our TheraBands and things. And remember, you always want to inspect these before you use them. You always want to make sure to check them out. But what's neat about a band is, and let's see, I was gonna say, does it show on the device? Yeah. So let's see, everybody, what happens. Which way would it?
It's my right arm.
So if I just went around your shin right there and just kind of pull it back a little bit. Okay. So remember, everybody, I'm gonna go ahead. I'm back here behind Hero. I'm gonna pull resistance. I'm pulling his leg back, and so he's going to oppose that now with that hip flexor.
See a little bit of the yellow coming through on the top left. You could pull stronger if you want.
I am. There we go. I'm really pulling now. So I'm pulling real hard, everybody. I'm trying to pull his leg backwards.
If I relax it, it'll come back.
Look at, I could see it firing up on there. Look at the yellow was just, so everybody, that was kind of neat. You could literally see that yellow signal climbing as I was pulling my resistance. Now for you, this could be something to where you could learn about what feels proper for you. So that way, when you went home and you're doing your homework, maybe you're on the app and you're working out and you're doing exercises. Again, you're going to know what's the proper level of resistance. Maybe you've been being a little too easy on yourself and you got to step it up. Or maybe you're at the right point and you know that because you were using H.A.L and you got to kind of see it on the chart. I think that's some pretty neat stuff. Any other cool kind of like a neat feature? I mean, we have the brain reading technology, brain monitoring. I think that is just incredible. Neuromuscular monitoring technology here.
See it quite as well.
Okay. Yeah. So we can demonstrate this.
And what is this here?
Yeah, so this is just another function, another visual, I guess, component that we, and as a therapist and you as a patient can see when you're using H.A.L. As you can see, there's 2 feet imprints there. And as we're gait training, we can see visually where you're putting the pressure through your feet, right? And that gives you visual feedback on maybe I need to put more pressure on the right or left or whatever the case may be. But it's just another component in what we've used with our patients that have been very effective.
Wow, y'all see that little dot that's moving around on there? So that's Hero. He actually had his hand in the shoe and he's applying pressure at different zones. And we know, and Karen, this is also something that goes along to our, walking without, as much assistance. Even when we are using our assistance, we want to make sure that our foot strike, it's called our gait. And that gait means kind of the way our feet interact with the ground and the way we walk and take steps. That's pretty neat, everybody, that you would notice if, say, maybe your heel hit the ground and you were putting a lot of pressure into that heel. Well, then the ankle's not going to have as many options as it would have if you had maybe had a better balanced foot. So this can be really good information to help us create a program moving forward, whether it's a training program or a therapy program. This is some pretty neat stuff.
Coach John, I think Carrie had a question as well.
Go ahead, Carrie. What's your question?
If you have spina bifida and your hips are dislocated, can you still use that?
That's a good question. Yeah, that's a little bit of a difficult situation, I think. From a safety perspective, we might be a little apprehensive, to be honest with you. We want to make sure that none of this movement is going to make that situation worse. So we would probably need a clearance from your physician, if it's okay or not.
Yeah, but we also have, like I mentioned earlier, and John was wearing the lumbar device that you can wear as well. And so we can do therapy with the lumbar device. We didn't bring it today, but we have a single joint device as well. So if you just want to work on your knee movement or your ankle and foot movement, or even your elbow movement, we can get that on and just isolate it to those joints specifically. So there's variations in terms of the devices that we could use.
And Carrie, something else that could be something to consider is, again, remember these guys, they're here in San Diego, but it would probably be neat to just go and kind of meet with them, talk to them, kind of get to know each other and get to know your situation. So that way, whether it's the lumbar device or the single limb device, you can maybe find a safe solution. And then it's almost like you're exploring, you're learning as you go. And what you might find is that you do have the ability to maybe do more exercises, or you find out that there's another avenue to take that's going to get you those results that you're looking for. Again, but it's something that you definitely want to consider. It's going to help you in ways of, and again, not only getting stronger, but also mentally understanding your body more. And you all know we talk about that a lot. We want everybody on here to have a good relationship with our bodies, and we want them to work to be the best that they can possibly be. And sometimes that's going to take some intervention. It's going to take some help, and everybody's going to need help at some point. I've needed help with my fitness and my health as well. And so that's what these guys are here. When you hear the name physical therapist, when you think of that, I want you to think of somebody who's already on your team. You know that they're there to help you, But even better, they have information that is going to be able to assist you in ways that is really important if your goal is to be healthy for your whole life. You have to understand your body. And if you do, you're going to have a really good chance of being healthy for a very long time. And again, I think this thing is super neat. Any other neat features, anything you want to make sure that we talk about on here? What did we write down on there that we wanted to make sure? Again, in
Some of the diagnoses that we've been.
Sure, yeah, so we've worked a lot with spinal cord injury patients, with stroke patients. We've also had cerebral palsy patients. And mostly we work a lot with the neurological conditions. So any kind of muscular dystrophy, multiple sclerosis, some kind of progressive neuromuscular disease like ALS is a good example. Those are the types of patients that we work with. And again, if it's not even within those categories, just ask us and we can kind of figure out whether we can use this device on you and help you out.
Awesome. Everybody, again, this is super cool. We've had such a great opportunity to be able to bring these guys in here. We met them up in Los Angeles at the Abilities Expo, and we were just blown away by, again, they're not only really kind guys, real friendly guys, but guys who are here to help, and they have something really neat and really effective, and kind of like what we're working on too with TruFit. We have our app. A lot of you are on that app. Remember, just the other day, we posted some new exercises with Coach Emily doing the tree meditations. We had Coach Josh Loya teaching us some martial arts, teaching us how to make the proper fist, teaching us some block moves. And remember, you yourself might want to share some exercises with us, and you can do that. We've had Carrie and Nick and a couple others who have actually sent in videos of themselves exercising. And again, that's what we want to do. We want to keep that interest going. If there's any other questions, let's make sure to ask some questions. But remember, everybody, these guys, they're in La Mesa, Encinitas, up in Orange County. They're in Tustin, and was it La Crescenta?
In LA.
In La Crescenta in LA. Also, if you're thinking about, what are some things to expect? What are physical therapists? What's their role in your health path, your journey? I want you to think about things like injury prevention. All right, that's what we talk a lot about. We don't want ourselves to get hurt. We want to be strong and be able to do things with our strength. We also might, though, have an injury. And if that happens, maybe you have an injury or you have a surgery. When you have that happen, going to a physical therapist, it's the safest way for you to get back into activity. You want to go through a process so that you actually come back stronger and you're not experiencing those pains. Sometimes they call that reconditioning, where we were conditioned and we got deconditioned, and now we got to get reconditioned. You also want to work on your balance, which we always talk about, very important, balance and stability. And a lot of that stability, it comes from that. Remember, what's that big word we always use with the P? Who knows it? Is anybody? I know Karen knows it. Proprioception. Remember, our brain and body, the communication between those two, if it's at a real high speed, our proprioception is very high. We're going to feel stable. We're going to make moves with finesse. But if we're off a little bit, we're going to feel maybe unbalanced, a little wobbly. And what we want to do is we want to train our eyes. We want to train our ears. We want to train our mind and our muscles all to kind of work together to give us that sense of what's our body doing? How's our body moving? If I'm falling, I want to know I'm falling even before I start to fall. And that's some types of things that I also could see how, and again, Karen, thinking about what we were talking about with the walker, is that sense of urgency. I love a sense of urgency. I love when our body feels like it has to do this, even though it might be safe and it might be okay. If the body feels like it's so important for its own self-preservation, sometimes that brain's going to say, you know what, let's just fire up a couple more neurons. Let's just make a couple connections that maybe we weren't working with before. Let's reignite those connections, and then let's see where we can go with that. I think that's something that we could create in here. Ben, like they talked about, being able to dial it in with the spasticity and working on our strengths and weaknesses to create an imbalance. bring it back into balance and then let you experience that balanced state. I think that is a tremendous benefit. And if anybody's thinking, if they're watching this and they're thinking, hey, I'm kind of interested in that, I'd like to try it. Remember, these guys are here. You can try this. And if you want me to be there with you when you go to try it, I'll be there with you. I'll make sure we'll be there together and I will help you. Maybe if they need my help, I can maybe just be a fly on the wall and I can hang out and watch. If there's any other questions, we have time for maybe 1 or 2 leaders. I think, guys, it might be kind of neat to show these guys some leadership. What do you think, Ben or Carrie?
Yes.
Who do we have? We want to bring up maybe Byron for a quick flow and Bernie to close it on out.
Yeah.
Woo, that's a great idea. All right, Byron, you just heard. And I'll do the play-by-play for Byron. And let's bring up Byron. We're going to bring him up on the big screen. We're going to let these guys get to watch Byron and see his moves he's making. Everybody who's going to follow along at home, make sure to get your sandbag or your resistance bar. And I want you guys to think about doing some of these moves with that Exo or with H.A.L on. So, all right, I'm going to take myself down from here. We got Byron coming up in the spotlight. He's going to be our leader. And he is already starting moving and grooving. He's got the bag going around his back. He's bringing it side to side, reaching out with the left arm all the way out to the side, going out all the way with the right arm, bringing it back and forth, doing the sweeper in front of the body, behind the back, off the ground, doing a hot potato, too hot, bringing it around the back again. There's a hot potato. That's a good one. He's going to put it on his back and hang loose. He's going to balance that bag right there on his back. Go ahead, balance it out, everybody. He's going to catch it, bring it around the back, going into a right side twist. He's going to hold that right side twist. He's loading up that right leg and he's pivoting off the left. Now he's going to pivot off the right and go to the left side. There you go, Byron. And he's around the back again. He's bringing it up. He's going around. Drink some water if you need to. Keep it going. He's going for the sweeper in front of his knees. He's got his hand on his leg for stability. He's using that extra hand for some support. And look at that right arm just hanging it out with the 4-pound sandbag. Going side to side. He is sweeping the sidewalk clean. There we go. Switching over to the left arm, sweeping it back and forth across the knees, around the back, off the ground, around the back one more time. And he is getting ready for the switcheroo. But first, it's the figure 8 going between the knees, behind the back of the knee. Hot potato off the ground, around the back. That potato is way too hot today. Keep it going, Byron. And then get ready. He's going to do the switcheroo to the resistance bar. He's going to wind it up and roll it away. There we go. Grab your resistance bar or your broomstick. Remember, if you don't have those, you can use your imagination and you can work out along with Byron. You just got to pretend. Hold that hand up with one hand right there, knuckles up in the middle, holding it out. Reach that arm out and do some punches. There you go. Byron's got the right hand, knuckles up punch with the 10-pound resistance bar. There you go, Byron. Reaching out, extending that arm all the way out. And again, look at his feet. He's got his legs braced. Again, I could see in the Exo, I keep calling it that, in the H.A.L, we could be working out in stabilizing our core, stabilizing our body, and then reaching out with our arm. That's going to challenge your core, and that's going to really get you to improve those muscles around your spine. Here we go. He's now got 2 hands on it, holding it up with 2, holding it up by his chest. He's got it up in the air and he's going for the classic chest press. Here he goes. He's bringing it out with the chest press, reaching around, going forwards, bringing it back to his chest, going out again, bringing it back to the chest. There we go. Keep it going. Byron looking great. Reaching out. In. Ben, go ahead and put an ear on that audio. How did that change? Did that sound better or does that sound worse? He's going with the baton spit. Nice.
It sounds better.
Sounds better. Cool. I changed up the direction. It's a multi-directional microphone. I think I had it as if we were recording music. Byron's recording a little song right now. He's got a little jazz number going. Look at the tempo. He's got the baton spin going. He's bringing it around. He's got it going on all the way. A 360 baton spin, working on his elbows and his wrist, working on those shoulders. Oh, he's going for the lumberjack. There he goes. Got the lumberjack up on his shoulder. Nice job, Bernie. Here you go, Lorraine. Nice job, and Peter. There you go, Carl. Carl, you're doing it, Carl. Thank you. Carl in the white shirt. Keep it going. You got the lumberjack, my friend. Oh, Carl, you're doing a great job. Wanda, Mary Jo, everybody's here. Keeping it going. Look at Byron. He's moving and grooving, getting ready to bring it on home. Bernie, let's get ready to have a sip of water. Moving side to side. There you go, Byron. He's got nothing to hide. He's coming right at you. Getting ready to bring it on home. We've got another baton spin. Maybe we're going to get in the kayak and row it on home. Let's see. Let's find out. Oh, look at that. I think he's going for it. Kayak row, everybody. Here we go. Reach out. One goes forward, one goes back. One goes forward, one goes back. Let's row it on home. Byron, here we go. Let's give you a countdown. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and resting. Woo, Byron, great job, my friend. That was excellent, Byron. We're clapping for you, my man. Great job, Byron. That was excellent. Again, Byron taking us on the flow. You don't know what he's going to do, but you know it's going to be good. Byron, great job, my friend. Go ahead and have a sip of water. You got Bernie.
Thank you.
And Bernie, we are ready to work out with you. We're going to get you unmuted. Yep. Have a sip of water and a nice deep breath. And remember, Bernie, Nick is on vacation. He is visiting his family all the way in Lebanon, all the way on the other side of the country or the other side of the globe. Are you ready, Bernie, for your jumping jacks? Oh, yep. We'll get you unmuted. Yep. All right. Again, Bernie's in the house. There you go, Bernie. You can do your ask to unmute. Get yourself going on there. And Bernie, we're going to give you the big spotlight. You got the big spotlight? Yep. I'm going to count with you. And we're going to get it going. Have that sip of water. That's right. Everybody, Bernie's showing us what's most important in our workouts is hydration and remembering to breathe. You got to remember to breathe. All right, Bernie, you got it. We got 7 minutes. You got plenty of time. You want to count it down? Mm-hmm. 55. You lead us. You're the leader. In 5.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Jumping jacks. Here we go. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. These guys are going. 7. Look at them. 8, 9, 10, 11. Look at you, Bernie. 12, 13. You got these guys moving. 15, 16, 17. Go, Bernie. 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27. Big arms. 29 and 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39 and 40, 41, 42. Go, Bernie. 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49 and 51, 52, 53, 54, and 55. Woo, Bernie. Look what you did, Bernie. You got these guys working out, Bernie. You were leading them. That was a wonderful job. All right, are you ready for baton spin? Let's see. I'll give these guys baton. Here we go. You're in it now. There's somebody got red and somebody's got blue. All right, Bernie. I got them. They got batons. And let's see what we can do. First up, we're going to go baton spin with the march in place. Oh, this would be one that we had H.A.L. H.A.L could be walking with us. All right, going for 20 baton spin. So spinning the baton. Yep, there you go. And then do it. There you go. A little march in place. And Bernie, you're so good at this one. Counting loud for us, Bernie.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 29, 30.
Nice job, Bernie. All right, we're going behind the back for the back stretch. Remember, if you don't have a stick, you can just put your hands on your hips, stick out your butt, and then lower your body down. And then you're going to lift up and go up with the superhero chest up to the sky. Look at Bernie. Bernie, I want you to go up to the skylight like it's a UFO pulling you up. There you go. Nice job. Just doing a little back stretch. Good job, Bernie. All right, 5 of those. Are you going behind your neck? Yep. All right. And next one, we're going up behind our head and behind the neck and then back down. Remember, if you don't have a stick, let's go A, Y, W, Y, and then A. So you're going to make those letters with your arms going up, bringing it down. Look at you, Bernie. You're leading these guys. You got an engineer and a physical therapist and a hybrid assisted limb device working out with you. All right, she's switching it up. Let's see. I know where she's going next here. There's one for you. Oh yeah, last two. And 2 kettlebells. Must have taken them with me. Now here we go. I'll give you what Byron had. This is what Byron had. This is the sandbag. All right, Bernie, we got 2 more to go. Doing a great job. Again, you're training these guys. Linda, Bernie right now is leading the physical therapist in the workout. There you go. Yeah, Linda, check this out. Linda, this is a hybrid assisted limb technology. This is something that we just learned about. It helps people with neuromuscular differences to be able to balance and support and gain strength. It's super cool stuff. And Bernie's leading these guys now in the workout. Bernie, we're so proud of you. Bernie, what's our first exercise going to be? The twisty reach? Okay, let's do it in the Statue of Liberty. All right, here we go. So we're going to be holding up our weight up by our chest, and we're going to twist side to side. Nice job, Bernie. And you can tell that she's using the pivot foot. Remember, everybody, the pivot foot is like what Byron and Bernie were showing. When you twist, you kind of go up on the tippy toe. You kind of have your foot up on that tippy toe. Nice job. Linda, this group is Rise Healthcare Group. They're here in San Diego, and we're working with them to help out our San Diego community to have every option available. Count loud, Bernie. All right, and the last one, we're going for the Statue of Liberty, reaching down to the ground, up to the sky. Bring it on down, then lift it real high. Here we go, down to the ground. 1. Go, Bernie. Count for us too, Bernie. You got a great count. A little bit louder.
5,
Yeah, that's it. Loud like that.
9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15,
Hold it in the air, holding it up high, holding it to the sky.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Yeah. Water and everybody, again, we want to thank you for joining us. We want to really thank Hero and Martin for coming up here. Remember, we're at the Arc of San Marcos. We're here at the Arc in the one up here in San Marcos, and it was so cool. These guys came up here. There was traffic. It's hot, showing us H.A.L hybrid assisted limb. Remember, that's what it stood for, if anybody got that right. And remember, if this is something that you want to learn more about, what's the website? Is Rise Healthcare Group?
Yeah, Rise Healthcare Group.
You can check out Rise Healthcare Group. Maybe somebody could type that in the chat room real quick in case anybody wants to do a copy paste. Rise Healthcare Group. And remember, here in San Diego or Orange County, these guys are going to be available to work with you and to, again, kind of spread the message about what we saw here today. If there's anybody on YouTube, if you have more questions, You can reach out to these guys. Can they reach out to you guys through the site?
Yeah.
So you can find these guys on the Rise Healthcare Group site. You can reach out to them, say, hey, I saw you on the TruFit workout. I'm interested in how I want to meet up. That's how you get it done. You can let me know, and I can also reach out to them for you if you want to do that as well. But everybody, again, let's give them a big round of applause. Thanks for everybody who was joining us. I saw a lot of you in there. So again, Sulpizio Center, Gerber Center, up here in North County, everybody working out at home. Who do we have to bring it on home, co-hosts?
What do you think, Carrie?
Should we all do a trio?
Yes.
We should do the trio.
Yeah.
Yes.
Let's do it. All right, so let's get a little closer. So we're going to come in just a little bit closer. We're going to do this. Oh, the camera's down here. I'm looking at the microphone. All right, we're going to do this as a trio, which means we're all going to say it all at the same time. It is just going to sound fun and funny, and that's all right. So here, you guys ready? The words are over there. Remember, on there.
Okay.
Yep. It's just like hearing a song. All right, here we go. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Breathe in the good. Breathe out the bad. Breathe in the happy. And breathe out the sad. Breathe in your best. And breathe out the worst. And breathe in your power. So you reach your goals first. Oh, that might have been one of the best breathing moments. Oh my gosh, I see Ben cheering and Carrie. Oh my gosh, everybody. That was terrific. Maybe me and these two guys, maybe we can start up a trio quartet. We'll go hang out in the gas lamp corner out there with the guitar case. But again, everybody, remember, it's called H.A.L, Hybrid Assisted Limb. These guys are from Rise Healthcare Group here in Southern California. And again, thanks so much to them. Thanks for you for being here. Thanks to everybody on YouTube. Make sure you're liking it, subscribing. Let's get a big wave. Everybody, so good. Give a big wave to